once you notice the black man?
No, if it's like an average-looking white guy, you know, making a pass or paying attention to me, I see through them. I don't even.
What'd you say?
Would you date black girls?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because they're disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
Why they sleep with everybody in?
Yeah, you guys are pretty gross.
But y'all beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I know.
God bless y'all with pretty hair.
I know.
Pretty eyes.
I know. Thank you.
Intelligence.
I know.
Look at
Incredibly tragic story here. We have learned new information that the 33-year-old social media model was strangled to death. That's according to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office, and police are also now trying to figure out a timeline of when this all may have happened, and also shared with us that they have not seen any signs of forced entry to the apartment. The details still murky as to what led up to the horrific murder of 33-year-old Janae Gagnier, known as Miss Mercedes, more on social media, with a following of 2.6 million.
We want to find out why her, why him.
The body of the woman was discovered Sunday afternoon inside her apartment at the Cortland Sugarland complex. According to the medical examiner, she died of strangulation and traumatic concussion in what police are investigating as a murder-suicide. A second body also found. Richmond police say it belongs to this man, 34-year-old Kevin Accordo, who died by suicide caused by multiple sharp force trauma.
We found her in her apartment doing a welfare check. People haven't heard from her in a couple days.
It was the woman's family that called police asking for a welfare check on Sunday. Gagnier's father was with officers when they made the gruesome discovery.
People were asking about the relationship between her and the suspect. And at this time, we are doing some investigating on social media to determine if there is an exact cause.
And investigators would not share with us whether or not anything was taken from inside of this woman's apartment. And they also tell us that the last known address for the suspect in this case is out of Florida.
So when I first started this series, I knew there was going to be content. However, I'd be lying if I said I knew it was going to be this much content. I'd be lying if I said I knew it was going to be this consistent. I knew it was going to be this much content. But I'd be lying if I say I knew it was going to be this consistent. Now, this story, I'm not sure, 100% sure if they were in a relationship. But I'm gathering evidence, and from what I'm seeing, I'm pretty sure it was some sort of relationship. It was some sort of arrangement. And I started this Who BWs Really Choose series, which is separate from who we really choose, who black men really choose, and who they really choose, because I was kind of annoyed with the false propaganda and the narrative and the cherry picking content that was being pushed out by these weeb chimps and these wignogs and these fatherless crackhead descendants who don't know their father and want to come online and project their own issues onto an entire demographic in which mostly they don't know, because they'll never be successful with any race of men, because their sisters are single moms by white men and they're single moms by black men. People of that genre. Seeing them pushing out false information, all types of people. And I figured there's so much content with stuff like this. So I decided, why not bring a balance and put the real information out of who they really choose? Because you see, these bottom shelf brads and these white men who date these VWs, they don't have any power, they don't have any resources. They're average at best, but most of the time they're at the bottom of their barrel at best. That's just the truth. Living in delusional fantasy where they get these resourceful, powerful white men, it's something that helps them cope with the fact that the white men they get, despite them having 3 head starts, and compared to the ones that other races of women get of their men, are behind those black men. Because anyone who lives in the upper middle class area, a middle class area, or have access to Google and can Google the richest men on the planet, like I said several times before, can see this is a proven fact. This is accurate. It was a narrative that was being pushed that successful black men lead BWs and date white girls. But I think it's successful black men get around women who are worth something and they see BWs and they just realize how inferior BWs are. That's what I think it is. But this is what really happens. So when you got stories like this, it just proves my point. Okay? You're chasing after bottom shelf Brads, getting rejected by bottom shelf Brads. The only race of women who pursue men, which is very masculine, but you're lacking so much options that you have to create platforms about it and pursue men that other races of women have pursuing them. And this is the result when they get in relationships with these men, because they get these psychos, they get these rejects. They get these men who are probably living off their 401k plan that they saved up while living in their mom's basement. You see, while other races of women are good at getting sugar daddies who got retired from working, business owners, engineers, lawyers, and doctors. And I know this because I know white men who paid for women and they weren't BWs. You know, that's just reality. These weave chimps are getting men who can't even go get a decent shave at a barbershop or at home. Can't even put on some decent clothes. And living off his 401k plan that he probably saved when he was living with his mom. And they can't even have a decent relationship with this. And this is what happens to them when they get with these bottom shelf Brads. You see, this is just the truth. So when we talk about choose better, I'm in full support of these weave chimps getting men like this because they're doing me a favor. They're taking out the trash for me. They're taking out the trash in the society for me. They're doing me a favor. Then you got these crusties who talk about choose better. You don't have the option to choose better because you're not able to compete. You are not able to do that. This is why you got a BWs like this. This woman is what the Shines and the Black Simps would consider a 10 out of 10 in the black community. Let's be honest. She would be a 10 out of 10 in the black community. Now in the white community, other community, she'd probably be a 7 or average because you got other races of women. But you're gonna have some guys who have this bestiality fetish, and a lot of them said it themselves about that deformed body that they consider. This is their words, not mine. And they'll have a fetish for that. You see, it's normal for women to have a fetish for men and their personal parts. That's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with women having a fetish for certain men, body, physique. That's normal. However, this type of fetish is not normal. And so you don't really have the option to choose better because this is the best you can get. You got this crusty collecting welfare. She's just like these crystal crack baby swirls and these weave chimps online who collect welfare. Sit on their ass all day, put on 30 pounds, blaming black men for all their shortcomings and issues. The same welfare crusty as these other BWs. And she's in her prime, I'm pretty sure. Is she in her prime? And this is the best she can get. So this goes to show you that the only people who really put value on BWs are black men, not me. And that rate is decreasing, but if I'm being honest, I can only say the only people who really put value on BWs at a large number are black men. A lot of black men are waking up, and I'm glad to see that. But I only see black men putting value on these BWs. To me, she's nothing special. These BWs are just disgusting. So when you talk about choose better, you can't choose better. This is what you choose better with. Choosing better with bottom of the barrel men in other communities. Claiming that's better than black men. No, it's not if you're talking about finances. Because you're not getting the top men with finances. You're not getting the men that other races of women want. And if being resting your femininity in a casket is better than black men, then I could say that's better for me. So you might have a point on that. However, when these BWs are the least attractive outside the black community, least preferred, how can you put value on this group of people who depend on people's tax money to survive, have the highest obesity rate, only race of women spreading STDs and HIVs at a large rate? What value do these BWs have that make them so wanted to certain men, black men? I'm trying to figure that out. Why would you want to have a baby with a woman like this, like a woman who promotes these type of movements, so you can have a self-loading child? And like I said before, self-respecting men of all races, I would say, would see BWs as a downgrade. Delusional idiots like this may not. They may be. They may see him as a downgrade. They may not. But sometimes people have to settle for what they can get. I mean, I like to think about it from his point of view. I don't know what relationship he had with her, but I'm assuming it was sexual. But for him to even be in this situation, I'm thinking from his point of view. If I'm a white man and I'm an incel and I can't get no other race of woman, and I'm white, and I know in this country, instead of traveling to a country like Asia, Philippines, and the white guys did that back in Australia, and they would go pimp out these Filipinos, and I can always go to a ghetto near me and get me some licks, get me what I want. You know, rather have STDs, HIV positive, I can always go to the BW and I get something that like this, or one of these desperate weave ships that worship me for being white, or even the ghetto leftovers, where you have a bunch of low IQ shines who would fuck these animals. I go to the ghetto near me, I can get me a BW. They'll worship me because of the color of my skin. But I can't get no other race of woman. You know, that's always a choice for them. And I think that's how they end up in these situations. And people say, why you look down on BWs? Look, they're
light this bitch up.
Like this is, you can't make this up. I would never want my child bringing home one of these crusties. If I have a daughter, or a racial daughter, she's not going to be like these self-loathing creatures. I'm gonna put her in school with black men who are successful doing something with their life. She's not gonna bring home no bum. She's definitely not gonna bring home a bottom shelf Brad or a white man. She's not gonna bring home a white man. If she dates a mixed guy, she can bring home a mixed guy. But whatever the case may be, whatever it may be, I would have better luck not reproducing one of these crusties. And the more black men put value on these type of weave chimps in society, I think the more you will have stories like this happening. You'll have people seeing really how much you're worth. Because if she had a GoFundMe account right now, she'd probably be rich. Because like I said before, these creatures, their wealth goes up when they get taken out. They only have a net worth of $5. So, yeah, this is how low BWs are. It's happening every week. They're getting murked by these bottom shelf Brads. And everyone can see it. So this is why I just laugh when I see it happen. The first thing that comes to my head is black men is black men that, white men better. And I just think it's funny because it shows you, I don't even have to add commentary to it. It shows you who they really choose. This is how low value they are. I think if the family was smart, they would at least set up a GoFundMe account. At least. Because weave shrimp didn't have no life savings. She was on welfare. A lot of these weave shrimps are on welfare. Lazy degenerates living off welfare. Act as if this is a prize. BWs are not a prize. Anyone can have them. They're like shoes that anybody can have. Low quality shoes that anybody can have. That's it. But stories like this are going to continue to happen. This was a short video. Don't have too much to say because it's going to happen again. It's going to be more detailed next time because it's going to happen again, trust me, pretty soon. It'll probably be another week. Probably might be in a couple of days. At the least, it might be in a month. But it's going to happen again. It's going to keep happening. And I just think it's funny how this is happening so much now with the weave chip and the worship for massa, as they call them. They call them massa. It's coming to light. And that's all I gotta say. We gotta get to the video of the next video I might do might be black men and how many are married interracially and how many BWs are single moms. So I'm gonna look at those statistics of BW single moms for other races of men, compare it. We're gonna see who the real single moms are in this next video or video coming in the near future. We're gonna see. And I already did a video debunking black men biracial kids. That was less than 1,000 people. But that's all I gotta say. Without further ado, I'm out.